Germany needs to borrow a lot of money to put into its domestic infrastructure. And there is another thing. Germany needs to encourage the EU and to borrow money in order to implement the Draghi catch up in productivity with the United States program, and also to borrow money in order, at the EU level again, in order to bolster European defense.
David, let me jump in here. So we're talking about potentially a four-way coalition, which is fragile and very shaky. I'm not going to ask you how long you think the coalition is going to last. What I will ask you is, though, is there any hope that Germany, the new government, is going to be able to lift that debt brake in order to lift defense spending? And for that matter, right, what happens? Is this the kind of government you want to stand up against the U.S. and Trump tariffs?
Look, I'll tell you what it is. It's a plane going to the right destination. Unfortunately, we're not in the first class seats. We're in the business class seats, or maybe even the economy premium seats. But the reality is, it is quite likely he will manage to get reforms on the way, and in a deep way, both at the level of the EU and in Germany. Could he get the debt brake moved? There are ways around the debt brake, of course, but could he get the debt brake moved? Well, he would need the Greens to vote with him. That would give him 56.9% of the votes, and he could pick up some other votes from the independents and so on, and probably straight through a two-thirds majority in order to vote for the debt brake being lifted. If that were to happen, then of course it would be tremendously bullish for Germany. But this coalition, the three-party coalition, SPD, CSU, CDU, that of itself does not give you that amount of votes. So it's going to be a much bumpier ride.
David, there is a lot at stake here, as you've enumerated. So Germany and Europe at a crossroads, whether it's on tariffs and the relationship, the transatlantic relationship with the Trump administration, the US, Ukraine, Russia. Are we on the brink, once again, of existential crisis territory for the Union?
Well, I think we are. In my view, what's happening, I mean, Germany is in a sense, a teacup on the world stage. As Henry Kissinger, I think he was, said, Germany is too small for the world and too big for Europe. But the reality is Germany is important in Europe. But what is happening to Europe is much more important. And I think there we are on the cusp of a crisis which is of similar significance to the fall of the wall, except it kind of is in reverse, because the wall is kind of being put up again with the help of the Americans' realignment with Moscow.
As